Welcome back to another Conductor Sunday live stream. I'm your host, Theme Park Conductor, and tonight marks the second to last Conductor Sunday live stream I'm going to have out here in California before I make my way to the East Coast for the very first time and experience the Magic Kingdom and Universal Orlando. And I could not be any more excited. There are four topics we are going to talk about tonight. Disneyland Resort Officials announcement at the media event that happened at DCA. We got D23 predictions. We have Jurassic Park props show up on the lower lot from the studio tour area where the tram accident happened. And we also have from our guest who's going to ask me what I need to experience at Walt Disney World that I cannot miss no matter what. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on one of two gentlemen. Both of them are from Leaving Today's podcast crew. First off, we got Mark with us today. Mark, first of all, how you doing, sir? And where can everyone find you on social media?
Well, Conductor, thank you so much for having me on this evening. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Whether or not you're doing the show, I'd love to talk to you anyway. So this is great. You can find me at leavingtodaypodcast.com, on Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast. We are a Disneyland and DCA resort focused podcast. We talk about the parks. We're starting our 10th season, our 10th year. We started in 2016, and we've been doing the YouTube side of things for about 10 months now, 11 months. We're trying to get into it and connect with people. So that's how you can find me at Leaving Today Podcast.
Absolutely. Always great to have Mark and his co-host and partner in crime. We got Udi in the house. Udi, first of all, I have to say, what an interesting USA men's hockey team game this was this morning. Shout out to them for winning the gold. Man, that was a nail biter.
Yep, one of the best ways to start a Sunday I can think of in a very long time, my friend. It was amazing. I just want to say, hey, good evening, and it's always good to be on with you, man. I appreciate the invite.
No,
Mark,
absolutely.
how you doing, buddy? A long time no see. just saw him last week.
Well, there you go. So I want to ask both of you before we get to our first topic, which is going to be the Jurassic Park props. Okay. Mark, I'm going to start with you, and I didn't actually bring this up during the pre-live, but you went to the Disneyland Resort just recently for your birthday.
I did,
and I want to ask you, from the last time you went, not this recent time, but the time before that.
Yeah.
What really kind of piqued your interest on what you saw that has massively changed?
Oh, you throw me right. Okay. So it was a year since I'd been to the park just because I have life stuff going on. So that is a very long gap for me. But what changed a lot? Gosh, that is a very tough question. Shoot, Conductor, you're killing me. I was hoping I could have like a rapid fire answer for you. You're smiling right now. So what had changed? Oh, you know what? I think a little bit on the negative side of things is what had changed a lot was just mobile ordering was just a thorn in my side for everyone. Actually, and I went with my daughters, of course, and just getting stuff on the mobile order was so frustrating for us. The one time in particular that I could think of, we were at Jolly Holiday. It was 12:30. We had just gotten something. My other daughter wanted some fancy drink. She tried to order it, and the pickup time was like 4:25. And I go, what in the world's going on? Mm-hmm. But anyways, we're able to circumvent that and find another way to get the drink. But just that part and the dependency on mobile ordering was frustrating for us. So that was one big change. Other than that, I thought the park looked a lot better than it had been, like in the previous time I had been. I was a stickler for it too. Yeah.
Okay, so no, I completely agree with you, Mark. The mobile order situation has been a little bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
The whole app has been a little bit of a nightmare. And actually, to your answer, I'm going to put a pin in that because one of the topics or one of the subjects of the topic we're going to talk about is actually going to tie into exactly how you just answered that. But Udi, you actually went to Disneyland very recently, and I'm gonna ask you the same question. What difference did you notice at the park compared to the previous time you went?
Okay, well, my span has been 4 years, which was surprising to me. I didn't realize it had been that long.
Crazy.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that were different. I will go with maybe an odd one.
Okay.
The Esplanade. Realizing how big of a footprint that Portos has, or whatever. That's Portos, right?
Yeah.
That's going to go there. I didn't realize how far into it really stuck.
Mm.
And walking through there, and I was with my best friend and her husband and her son, and we were going down. Was it Thursday night or Friday night? And we were walking into downtown Disney through the Esplanade, and I kind of went like, "Holy cow, this is going to be really big."
Sure.
You look at the art and you kind of go like, okay, and you kind of get an idea spatially, but until you're there, that was a pretty big one. The other thing, and this is all with construction, would be DCA, would be the expansion to Avengers Campus.
Oh,
Yes.
So I took your advice and went up on the Wheel of Death.
Yeah. Huh.
And I mean, we're going to do it anyway, but I'm like, hey, no, good call to do, good turnaround and look and see what's going on over there. And the size of the show buildings are something to, I wasn't quite like, looking at pictures and videos and stuff like that. You can't, again, you get an idea spatially, but until you're there in person looking at it,
Oh yeah.
So not only from the vantage point of being in Adventures Campus to being up at the highest point of the Wheel of Death, it was really big. And I snapped pictures and I sent it to the rest of the crew, and they were like, "Holy cow! Like, you don't realize not only the height of it, but the depth of it and how it goes back." So
yeah.
I'm pretty excited for that. So those are two of the things. There are a lot of other little tiny things throughout the park. Like, I hadn't been there for the new queue for Haunted Mansion. Amazingly well done. The changes in Thunder Mountain, great. Seeing the Haunted Mansion shop.
Madame Leota's, yeah.
Madame Leota's interior, beautiful. I love the interior. Okay?
Oh sure.
The exterior, problem.
The Home Depot shed.
Yeah.
It is not good.
San Francisco was new for you.
San Francisco was good. What I really did enjoy about San Francisco, and we actually covered in the podcast that's coming out tomorrow, right, Mark?
Yeah, I was working on it just before the show. Yep.
Yeah. That
Nice.
my full breakdown of it's going to be on that show that's coming out tomorrow, Leaving Today podcast. There you go. Shameless. And that was the other part of it. San Francisco was really well done. The theming, what they did inside the actual area with the Big Hero 6 stuff and everything. When you really because we sat in there for a little while, we had some food, and we're kind of just chilling there, and it gave me that moment to kind of wind down and just look at everything. I'm like, holy crap! Like, it was really, really cool in there. So there's a lot of other things throughout there on the other side of the park. I mean, but those are some of the things that stick out on my mind right now.
Sure.
I'm sure if we keep on going, I'll come up with more. But yeah.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah. So the Disneyland Resort is going through such a massive transformation, and then with what the Disneyland officials announced just the other day to media, which
Yeah.
we're going to dive into that, but that's a bigger topic that I
Sure.
want to definitely spend some time with.
Yeah, that
But
one's gonna be fun. I'm waiting for that.
but you're absolutely right, Udi. A lot of things have changed, especially in 4 years, and I'm hoping a lot more is going to change because there definitely needs a lot more. They're headed in the right direction, I will say that, but they need to change a lot more. My
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, no,
Conductor, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
And I asked this to Udi the other day about Avengers Campus, this new e-ticket building that's coming. Do
Sure.
you think that so like the path is going to go right into the show building? Do you think there's going to be like a side path that guests can walk around on the outside, and maybe there's going to be a park or a bench or something back there, or is it? I mean, or is it just going to be that show building? You can't go anywhere else.
So I think it's interesting you mentioned that, Mark, because I've heard two different stories. I heard that story where it's basically going to be a path walking into the show building for either attraction. The second one was exactly the same thing, but a path that's going to divert kind of towards more of behind Guardians in that direction, and there might be some type of quick service location or another sit down location, but I'm sure that was speculation.
Yeah.
But it
Okay.
wouldn't hurt either.
well, let me say, yeah, because you did ask me, Mark, and I said no. I really feel like after getting the vantage point up high, I think there's room back there for that, and I think really Avengers Campus needs something to pull the weight the wait times off of Pim's test kitchen and test lab. I was there during the day. It is insanely busy, insanely packed, because really it's the only place in Avengers Campus to get any kind of food and drink, right? So they need something else to help alleviate that, and it makes sense that they would do that.
Yeah.
No,
So, yeah,
100%.
yeah.
I totally agree with you because I'm going to be honest with you because me and Hollow Gelato actually did a park vlog, 4 weeks ago? Yeah, about 4 weeks ago when they announced the 2026 foodie guide. And we started at DCA and we went to Pim's Test Kitchen because we tried some of their new breakfast items. And me and George had to almost sprint there because I don't know what it is. Pim Test Kitchen gets busy fast.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, real fast.
Yep.
So that, to me, tells me that if they have the room to do so, they should build a second dining location.
Oh, absolutely.
And preferably a sit-down location to Udi's point to kind of alleviate Pim's Test Kitchen.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's a hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I ate there twice. It was good.
oh,
Okay.
it's delicious.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So I want to pivot to this real quick. This is the only Universal news we're going to talk about with all
Okay.
three of us. But Mark, Udi, have you seen Jurassic Park? Let me start there. Have you
The
seen it?
movie?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So these were shot courtesy of Mondo from Five Fires. We got props on the lower lot. We got the big giant T-Rex statue. We got this dinosaur over here.
T-Rex.
We got
Or
we got the boat over here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Engine containers over here. Some trees over here. So all this stuff, if my memory serves me correctly, was actually on the studio tour past the picture car section of the studio tour. But since we lost that area to a tram accident that happened 2.5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago at this point, I've kind of lost track. They closed this section off, and all these props, from what I remember, were in that area. And as we're approaching the second year of FanFest nights at Universal Studios Hollywood, people have been asking for a Jurassic Park experience. Now, I want to ask you, being Universal, being that people still have the love and passion for their original Jurassic Park series, not the Jurassic World one, but the original Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
do you think this is a smart idea to build some type of an experience using the Jurassic Park IP for an event like FanFest?
I would say yes. I would lead into this. I think dinosaurs are always cool to have around. I mean, yeah, I mean, heck, I mean, they've been at Disneyland for what, like at least 60 years, right? No, 65 years probably, right? In Primeval World.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so the question is, would I lean into this IP for some sort of fan fest? I absolutely would. I think this is great. Yeah.
I think this is awesome, but Udi, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I concur. I mean, I haven't been in that park so forever, but looking at it from that point of view, I mean, why not? You're right. Like the original Jurassic Park is still one of my favorites to watch, like on the random. You know, I literally was just watching it the other day when the T-Rex eats the lawyer. It's still one of the funniest parts in the whole movie, for many reasons. But oh, I just have to, just real quick. We call that movie, we didn't call it Jurassic Park in our friend group. For a while, They Tried to Kill Timmy. That's what we call that movie. Because that's all they tried to do. Right, Timmy? Yeah, Timmy. Anyway, so, but yeah, why not? I mean, whenever a company can get theming and pull IP and do whatever you can to really draw people in, why not? I mean, that's what Disney's been known for, to get the IP and draw people in, because they can have, it's more of a physical connection, right? So yeah, I would do it. It looks pretty cool. I mean, I rode the Jurassic one, I mean, years ago.
Sure.
And that was fun. And that was really fun. And I had a great time on that one. So, yeah. I mean, Universal, I'm of the mind that the more Universal does these kind of things to not only stay relevant, but to try to lift themselves up, it's only going to help us now. And as we get into our other topic, we can elaborate, but it's only going to push now Disney, which we hoped it did, and it looks like it is. So, yeah.
No, 100%.
Oh,
And let me ask you this, Udi, because I don't know if you're a roller coaster guy. It's the same question I'm going to ask you, Mark, but I'm going to start with Udi this time. Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift is going to be opening probably sometime in early summer. Would that entice you, since you haven't been to this park in years, I'm guessing, would that entice you to come back to not only ride that attraction, but to see kind of what Universal has been up to since the last time you were there?
Funny you should say that.
yeah, and if you don't say it, I'm going to say it, Udi.
Well, I'm going to say it. I'm going to beat you to it because you asked me first. Not only is that a yeah. Mark and I were going back to the park. I think we mentioned it to you a little while back. But we are going to the park, and we're going to have probably a spare day. So we are having that conversation about hitting that park on our spare day.
Ooh, okay. Let me know what day.
Yeah, that gets started for the next couple months. So yes, and I've seen some of the test footage for the Fast and Furious and the stuff like that. I'm like, that looks like it'd be fun. So so Universal for me will always be the one, like, hey, I'm gonna go to Disneyland, and maybe I'll hit Universal. It will never be the primary. I'll never make a drive to go to Universal. I just won't.
Yeah.
But can I, if I can tack it on? Oh, okay. Why not?
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Mark and I are definitely talking about to kind of get like, because I think now moving forward in the space that we are with Disneyland and talking about it, Universal has made them part of the relevant conversation, has made themselves part of the relevant conversation going forward.
Oh, no, 100%. Before we continue, gentlemen, I just want to say we got David in the house, and we also have John. He has a statement. He said, I watched the LTP Lounge today and participated in a very fun, active today. He means the trivia game that you guys live stream.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun to watch, by the way. I
Yeah.
was watching in the background. That was a lot of fun to watch. I'm not
Do
gonna
you
lie.
want to give the shout outs, Mark?
That's Jason with Signs of Amusement. He's one of our friends and partners. They do a wonderful trivia game. I've actually had contributed questions to their show before, and it is a fun thing to do. It's super slick. But thank you for doing that, John.
Yeah, I appreciate. Hey, yeah, John, thanks for jumping in on that, and I'm sure Jason was in there because I mean that guy, like, he's helped us out a lot with a lot of different things. So I will let him know that you were in there and you appreciated it.
Oh, 100%.
So just real quick, I love roller coasters, and the Fast and Furious one, it looks like it's going to be pretty fun. If it's going to be spinning, which I think the cars are going to spin, that's going to be interesting. I've never been on that, so I'm going to have to take some Dramamine because I've never been on a car that does that sort of stuff.
I was going to say that. Don't forget to take a Dramamine.
I'm going to do that. And then to kind of augment what Udi said, we're going to be down there in May, and we're talking about, because we're going to have a free day, and the free day is we were definitely going to try to meet up with you, Conductor, and maybe OG55, and maybe Jerome from a Mental Mouse, and either go to Downtown Disney or Universal, because it's been 14 years since I've been to Universal.
Oh, wow.
So I've never seen any of the Harry Potter stuff or any of that.
Neither. It's been even longer for me.
But we'll let you know, Conductor, because I would love to go with you and maybe get and we can go to Cane's together or
there you go.
or that new barbecue spot that looks great.
Oh, 100%. I told OG, I said that new Korean barbecue place they're building, I said that's where your next big bar chat's going to be at. He's like, absolutely. Yeah. So he's eyeballing that spot. I can promise you that.
Awesome.
Another topic that I wasn't, expected to talk about, but since I have it on the screen and it's pretty obvious and it's going viral all over the place, especially social media. What do you guys think about Hannah Montana coming back into the scene for her 20th anniversary celebration?
This is the first I've heard of it.
I saw it earlier today. I'm not a Hannah Montana guy. I mean,
I'm not either. I'm just curious.
For my take is this: for the people who connect with that, I'm sure they're out, over the moon, excited for it. So I'm glad for them. Like this kind of stuff. When we go back into nostalgia and we tap back into things that we remember. Simpler times, for lack of a better way of putting it. I'm for it. Like I like that, even though it wasn't my thing. But how many people do you walk around with Hannah Montana binders and backpacks and shirts and blah 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 blah?
Not since the early 2000s.
Yeah. So yeah, like not my thing. But hey, if it was your thing and you can tap back into that, more power to you. Have a blast, enjoy it.
So what is it exactly? Is it like just a concert or a show?
I think she's going to start out with the concert. I think she's going to make appearances probably at Disneyland, if I had to guess. She might be at a D23 for one of the performances. I can almost guarantee it. There might be it could lead into other things.
Sure,
but
it's
kind of interesting, gentlemen, that she wants to put the persona back on. It's like, okay, 20 years later, I understand it's an anniversary. I get it. Back in the day, it was a popular show. I'm not going to lie about it. But again, to what Miley Cyrus is today, and for her to kind of jump back into, a pop star, type of reality, it's like, does it really honestly work?
I don't know.
Well, okay. I guess the question then is who's behind that?
I don't. I
And
honestly don't.
because this was my thought becomes that as we're beginning to move along, right, and there's things that are happening within the company Disney and everything.
Sure.
I'm beginning to look at it, and I think what they're doing is they're beginning to go backwards in time. Now they've done it in the past, right? But what they're doing a little bit different now. So instead of doing like live actions or whatever, right, to kind of tap back into remembering the animated classic, I feel like they're beginning to go backwards and hey, remember this stuff that was really cool? That was
Yeah.
for us. So how about we begin to wind these things back and let's go back and tap back into that good vibe that you had back then, because we need that right now. And again, I think that's going to tie into our other topic, but the way I'm really beginning this to kind of piece these things together, that's what I'm beginning to see a little bit more and more. Again, like little things are just, we're going to reach over here and remember that was really cool. Let's pull that in. Let's
Yeah.
pull and remember. They're bringing up what we, we jokingly say member berries, right? But I
Yeah.
think that's what they're doing because I think they're trying to reconnect and pull the people back in that they've lost.
See, that's something I've noticed as well. My problem is it really is it really worth the effort and the time to do so? Because they're trying to do that right now with Galaxy's Edge, with bringing back the original trilogy characters that we can all agree shouldn't have been in the land to begin with, but wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a lot of Star Wars fans said, "Hey, you know what? I appreciate the effort, but you guys are way too late. You already lost this, and you're trying to beg us to come back." It's like, no, you already, the damage is already done.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to reverse it just doesn't make sense. This is not Back to the Future, okay? You can't go back in time and fix your error. It's already built, it's already done, it's already out there, and you're trying to reverse it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and that is a fair critique, but this is always going to be my counter to it.
So,
And I had like a little bit of a discussion with my brother. We are talking about the Mandalorian Grogu, and because I do a Mandalorian, I do a Star Wars podcast with my brother and a couple of the friends of mine called the
sure.
Mando. And so we're talking about, we hadn't recorded in quite some time because we really didn't have anything to talk about, right? So
I heard my name.
I know. That's my brother just came in. So then but we were talking about it like people who got really overly critical of Disney, I think now they're going to a point where they're not willing to maybe go like, hey, maybe they're trying to course correct. The way I feel is like, yeah, as a Star Wars fan, they did a lot of horrible things right now with the franchise, and they really damaged, what I hold really close to myself, right, to my heart.
Sure.
It's part of me growing up and helped make me who I am. But I also look at it like, hey, why are they beyond redemption? If they're really doing these things now, these are steps, right? It's not like, hey, we're gonna just do that and then everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the critiques of like, hey, I don't care. I'm like, hold on a second. But what if they're trying to correct it? Like so you're gonna tell me that if they bring back the OT characters, they begin to negate and remove and diminish the sequels and tap back into what made Star Wars good, you're still going to be so mad at them that you're going to be like, I don't want to watch all the good stuff now that this is there. And you're going to be that jaded, where it's like, oh man, I'm sure that's awesome, but oh, I'm still mad at you. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, so to me, the way I'm looking at it is you take every step and you judge and evaluate every step. So this is a step in the direction. This is what I've been harping on our show, on our podcast. Is like, hey, this is a step in the right direction.
Yep.
You don't have to say, I'm happy now and I'm good if you don't want to, but you also need to look at it and go like, hey, Disney, you're doing right. And I say it all the time. Every time Disney does something that you like, you applaud it. You praise
yes.
it. You throw money at it if you need to go, that, Disney, that. And then when they do something bad, you go, no. And you pull your money, you do whatever you do to say no. That way they begin to look at it and go like, okay, so this is what we need to do because this is what the people want. These are what our fans want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
You reward the good behavior and you punish the bad. It's pretty simple. So that's why this kind of stuff is like, if you're that jaded, then I don't know what to do for you. I feel bad for you to an extent. You can be mad, you can be upset and be frustrated, but man, give them a chance. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You continue to not like the franchise anymore. Okay, cool. Or maybe, just maybe, they recapture it and start telling the stories in a way that you like and connect with again, and that you can go over that last few years as just a bad chapter, and you can make it a fever dream and move on from it.
No, 100%. I want to get to some comments real quick as well. We got Billy Rides CA. I'm guessing he's one of your followers, but welcome in, Billy. He said Hillary Duff is going on the arena tour, and it's selling out fast. So, you know, if they can bring Hillary Duff back into the picture, they can bring Hannah Montana. So I'm just
I had no idea about that. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
Yep.
And then David says hi to you and Udi.
Hello.
John says, I honestly think they could just paint Galaxy's Edge tan and turn it into Tatooine or another planet. So on something like that, they could, but it's basically putting lipstick on a pig. The infrastructure is already there.
Yeah.
Well, I won't go too far because I have so many thoughts.
I know.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
I'll keep it short. He's kind of right, but again, if they theme it properly, which they can do, we know they can, then it corrects these things. So if they begin to correct, go up there and be like, give them a pat on the back, like keep it up. Keep it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the infrastructure, I mean, well, I won't go because I could rattle on about what they could do, and not just Tatooine. They could make it a bunch of other stuff. But the corrections, and when we move on to the main topic, like, man, I want to get into that main topic already, but
I do too. But I've got a question too, and I've been wanting to ask you this, Conductor. We're talking about changes to the park, and you've had a very valid response about your Magic Key or the Magic Key prices going up, and you're not getting a lot of value out of it. And what, in your mind, would justify the value of your Magic Key right now? Like, what could they do to make you happy personally?
So I think one of the things I'll leave for the next topic that we're going to talk about, and we got one of our best moderators on the live stream, Kiki and Luca. Always great to see them.
Hey there.
The second thing that I can talk about, because it's not part of this article, is, and Kiki and Luca's on fire. He's been a member for 2 months on Conductor Ultimate Fan membership. So thank you, Kiki and Luca, for always supporting Theme Park Conductor. I appreciate it. One thing I'm going to tell you right now, though.
Yes.
I think what needs to happen is, and it'll be subtle, is increase the percentage of your Magic Key discount, especially for the Inspire Key. When it comes to blackout dates, personally for me, I'm going to be very honest with you.
Well, please do.
The Inspire Key, which you're basically paying almost $2,000 a year to own, should not have one single blackout date. None. Those two things right there, I will tell you that if they implement those two things, I'd be happy as a clam. But until they consider it at the very least, I have my reservations about it. And the third thing I'm going to talk about in this article, Kiki and Luca also gifted one Theme Park Conductor membership. Thank you, Kiki and Luca. The other thing I would like to see, as someone that holds a Inspire Key Magic Key is, I would like to see more entertainment,
Oh yeah,
because I kind of feel the entertainment besides the parades are kind of, they're there, but they're not there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to find it unless you're on the time schedule. And that's something I don't like. I think we can all agree to it that Disney has pivoted, at least out here. I don't know about Walt Disney World yet, but at least out here, in order to do mobile order like Mark did, in order to find out what performances are going on, if you can find one of the schedule boards in the park, great.
Mhm.
Most of the time people use their phone. That's
Sure.
what I'm trying to pivot to. And it's kind of eroding the magic
Mhm.
that the Disney company and Disneyland has to offer their guests. So that's something I would like to see changed. When it comes to the app and the whole infrastructure of that, I think we could possibly see Disney, who just got done investing $1 billion into OpenAI.
Mhm.
I would honestly hope, because there's a second part of this that's part of this article that I'm going to bring up. But the
Okay.
first part is with that open AI to help the infrastructure for the app not crash. Because I will tell you what, whenever they do a virtual queue for anything, popcorn buckets, special, little section for meet and greets, like we just did for the Magic Keys at the Hyperion Courtyard for DCA's 25th. There was a virtual queue for that. And I will tell you, I talked to people that day when everyone was trying to do the virtual queue for that little meetup. It caused issues across the resort with people trying to mobile order, people trying to book lightning lanes. So the app is not where it should be. And I would hope that Disney, that just got done spending that type of money on something like that, would honestly try to incorporate and fix the infrastructure for the app, so that way it can withstand a lot more data usage than what it's currently using right now.
Yeah.
Because when you have virtual queue and it kind of erodes everything else because everyone's trying to get a virtual queue, that's not good.
Mhm.
It's not. But what do you say about it, Mark?
Well, I don't have the Inspire key. I have the Explorer key, so mine is at $1,000.
Okay.
But I agree with you. I think that um, they could actually they could increase the percentage of discounts they have for food and merch. That would make me happy. I would like to have more Magic Key experiences just for Magic Key holders, like special night in the park or special like a Disneyland After Dark event for that, or even one of the Oogie Boogie Bash things. Hey, this is for the Magic Key holders tonight only. Not that I would go because it'd probably be on a Wednesday night and I'm 7 hours away. But those kind of things I think would be great to have. But kind of like what you were saying earlier was that you've got construction walls and things shut down, experiences not there. It doesn't quite justify the $2,000 for me.
No.
And you've got a great point when you bring all that up. So, I mean, I would be with you with the the entertainment stuff. If they brought back a show to the Golden Horseshoe, I would love that. Like
Yes.
some sort of dinner show or something. I would absolutely book that whenever I got a chance to. Yeah, so things like that, I would be really happy with.
No, absolutely. Udi, what's your opinion on that before we move to the main topic here?
Well, I have I agree with both of those, many of those aspects. I think we kind of talked about this prior. Mark and I have obviously on a few occasions, and I think one of the things that I brought up were where what they can do to make more value is to delineate a bit more between a magic key holder and a normal guest, you know, or a non-pass holder, right? So a separate entrance would be fantastic. Deeper discounts for that. The other thing I suggested, and this was part of the like, hey, what can Disney do? You know, the easy stuff that they can do right now with the Amaro coming and everything. And one of the things I said, hey, let's go back to a Lightning Lane where it's free, or you know what I mean? Have a free version and a paid version, and then if you're gonna have a top tier, you get the paid version. And really, the only difference between the paid version and the free version would be the amount of reservations you can hold at one point. So if you want to do 3, you have 3 and you're paying for that. If you want to do 1, like the old school paper one, then you do 1 and you get that. You get that opportunity if you want to. Those are the kind of things that I would do. I agree also with the with live shows. I think one of the, even though they aren't really my thing, but it is one of the things that brings a lot of kinetic energy. Anytime you have acting, and you have actors and musicians in any space, they bring a vibe to the area. They just do. You can't help it. Music moves people. It is just how we're wired. So when you have those kind of things throughout the park, different shows, it may not be super popular, but the fact that it adds something to the ambiance, the street atmosphere, is absolutely a necessity in that park. So that would all those kind of things would be things that help push me to get a key, because I'd be like, hey, I get this, I get that, I get that, I get that, and then it makes it worth my investment into a magic key.
No, 100%. Before we do dive into the article, I just want to read a few comments to kind of catch up here.
Sure.
We got Kiki and Luca, the gifted membership to Theme Park Conductor. I think John got that membership, so enjoy, John. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more content coming to the paid membership, so stay tuned for that. John also mentioned I kind of get it though, especially when you compare the prices to season tickets for sports teams for basketball and baseball. Then you got Kiki and Lucas said, I wonder what happens if there is no reservation system. How does that work? Do the parks just sell out so you show up and might not get in? To answer that question, yes, that's what would happen, and it would be it would basically they have it so undone with the system they used to have compared to now that if Disneyland was just overpacked, the Lightning Lane wouldn't even make sense, because both the Lightning Lane and General Lane would be 2-3 hours long per attraction. That'd be a nightmare. Billy Rides CA said more discounts, more shows, not just kiddie shows, but also shows for adults. I agree with that. We got Brandon, the Lego Disney fan, joining us tonight. He said LA28 promos ramp up. Absolutely. I've seen the promos, so
Nice.
that's good to see as well. So one last comment before we get into it. Kiki and Lucas said, so far everyone wanting to get rid of park reservation, how is that a good thing? Well, I will tell you this. When we look at Walt Disney World, because I said this on a video with Orange Grove 55, if you are a member to Orange Grove 55, it's on the members list right now. It will be public, I'm sure, in the next day or so. But I perfectly said what the Disneyland Resort can do is do what Walt Disney World does.
Yeah.
Limit the amount of tickets. On top of that, don't have a reservation system unless it's during peak seasons of the year. Then you implement the reservation system. That's something I see that the Disneyland Resort can benefit from, because per this article, and many articles that have been written about what's going on here, they even stated that the Disneyland Resort officials are looking at the Magic Key program. They're looking at the ticket offerings. They're looking at all that stuff, the reservation system. I'm like, well, you guys already created a program out at Walt Disney World, and it seems to work. Why can't we, adopt something like that here, where you kind of have the best of both worlds? You're
Right.
not 100% letting go of the reservation system, but you're also giving the option to fans, or I don't want to say fans, investors. Hey, you want
Yeah.
to go to Disneyland after work, after a kind of a pain in the butt day at work, and just go hang out at Disneyland with some friends? Let's
Yeah.
do it, and
Yeah.
not have to worry about a reservation system.
Right.
So they can have the best of both worlds. Why they are deciding to do that, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if what they were saying. Um, let me see. Ooh, okay. I'm not sure why they are kind of just like lackluster and not saying anything about it. So we'll have to wait and see. It's something they just announced. People are eager to kind of figure out what's going on. So I don't know. But let me start with this first topic real quick.
Can I comment on that just real
Oh,
quick?
sure. Yeah, please go ahead.
Because let me just let me offer the counter real quick. Because I'm of the mindset you get rid of reservation system, period. No halfway, no bring it back, because I think it
Sure.
creates it can be confusing if, like, hey, we have no reservations, and they're like, hey, we're going to be in peak time, so now you do. I think that can confuse the the average park girl that goes every once in a while, and the ones that are still like reservation, what? Those people, now you get rid of it and then you bring it back and like, what's going on? So, but here's my biggest point with reservation system. Okay, the reservation system has always been obviously to limit the amount of people and know who's coming in and when's coming in, right? It's an algorithmic thing, so they can bring in people. We know that, right? But here's the thing, though, that I think the reservation system has caused inadvertently, or maybe on purpose, is it's aided in the raising the ticket prices, because by limiting that, you have less people going in.
Yeah, scarcity, right?
You have less people going in, that money is going to drop, and then so what do? They have to make it up on the other end. So it's one coin, or one side of the coin and the other. You either have the reservation system, and then you have less people. Good, a lot of people like that, but then because of the less amount of people, that's less money coming in, so that means their prices are going to naturally go up. I mean, the prices have been raising at like well above average inflation for quite some time, exponentially. I mean, multiples of it. But if you brought back or got rid of it, then you just bring back to what they had, which was like the free for all, which I'm all for.
Oh.
Then you have more people coming in. You have more things going on, and then you don't know. Yeah, the park might be more congested. Okay, but I guess that's the question that everybody needs to answer for themselves. So for me,
Sure.
I don't mind a congested park. I don't care.
No, because we know how to navigate that, right?
Correct.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So because of that, it doesn't bother me. And I think a lot of the people who go to the park on the regular know how to manage the park in whatever way they can. So we're a little bit more savvy. So I guess that's the catch-22 of the whole thing. So for me, I'm on the side of like, get rid of the reservation system, let it go, and all of us who know will run the park like we've had in the past before we had that, and then we can help other people. Like, hey, here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. So I'm of the mindset, get rid of it, and because I think that'll help control the pricing a little bit. It'll be one of those things. Disney has gotten very, very, very reliant on the algorithm, the reservation system, the ordering system, and all that stuff, because it makes their job easier. Fine, but they have not looked at how it impacts the guest experience, or if they have looked at it, they haven't made it a priority.
No, 100%. I totally agree with you. And there's something in this article that's going to actually kind of tie back to the reservation system as well. One thing I want to point out, obviously you can see in the title, because we all thought Monsters Inc. was going to close this year, early
Yes.
2026.
Yeah.
Then we heard from David from Fresh Baked. I think I had you guys on
Mhm.
at the time. He mentioned in the video from sources that it was going to close probably in May. Now, all of a sudden, this announcement came out, said, no, now it's closing in 2027.
Yeah.
And in one aspect, it makes me want to believe Avatar is delayed, but they came out and said it's not delayed. So I don't know how that works. But one thing I will tell you is keeping an extra attraction in the park for as long as they can until they're absolutely 100% ready is what DCA needs. They can't afford to lose another attraction if it means it's just going to be behind construction walls for months on end.
Yeah.
So in a way, I understand their decision, but in another way, when you have the president of the Disneyland Resort standing in front of media at a media event and saying, "Oh, well, Avatar is not delayed; it's on schedule." It's like, how in God's name is that possible? Udi, I know your mind's spinning a million miles an hour, so I'm going to start with you. Why in the hell does the Disneyland Resort president 100% believe there's going to be no delays with Avatar when now they just pushed back the one attraction that's
Mhm.
literally going to be in the middle of the land?
Here we
So-
go. Here
so-
we go.
The question is, I have, first and foremost, what were they saying as a opening date for Avatar?
I don't recall there a date being given, unless
Exactly.
I may have missed it. Okay.
Thank you. Number one. Number two, and I said it, and as I read this, I just went, this is not coming to DCA. Avatar Experience Land, whatever, is not coming to DCA. I'm more, after walking the park, walking that area, we walked that area. I mean, Mark, like, hey, I need you to go walk in through Monsters Inc., go through all of that section of DCA,
Sure.
and give me your thoughts on spatially
Yeah.
what you think.
Yeah.
And so I did that. And I went, not only the drop off and everything, we know that space, right? And I walked and I kind of went, no, it won't work. It'll be shoehorned in. It'll be something that will be below par, period. No matter if they move it into the tram drop off, all these things that we've talked about. I'm sure we've all had this conversation in our own circles about, hey, what it is. So when I read that headline and I read that article, because I got that sent earlier, a couple, was it yesterday, to a couple of our listeners that threw me the DM, and I'm like, yep. So to me, that's what it is. I thought that with them going, well, we don't know when we're going to close Monsters Inc., and I'm going to go back and say it. It's like, I don't think Monsters Inc. has a hill of beans to do with any of the other projects anymore. I don't think so. All the Gateway, all the projects, all these things are not contingent on that little ride. They're just not. So that tells me, in my mind, I'm thinking they're rewriting what they're going to do. We never had an opening date for Avatar. So for him to say it's not delayed, it could be factually correct. But what he's not telling you, yeah, but we're thinking about putting it over there in 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So and their timeline could be over there because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
So this is something I'm gonna tell you, and I don't know if I've told you gentlemen yet before I go to Mark, and his response to this is George. So from Hollow Gelato, he went to a D23 event.
Mm-hmm.
The opening weekend of the kickoff for the celebration of DCA's 25th anniversary. And there was a D23 event at one of the hotels, and him and probably about a couple dozen people were sitting in the room with Imagineers, and there was a group of Imagineers that came on stage, and they 100% confidently said there is no other place we're going to put Avatar. It is 100% going into the Hollywood backlot. And I agree with you, Udi. It shouldn't go there because you have an IP that generates billions of dollars in the box office for Hollywood, and you're going to shoehorn it into a space that doesn't really work. And it's like you're looking at possibly, even if you can pull it off without getting rid of anything, without getting rid of PhilharMagic or the Hyperion, you're looking at about 7 acres is what they're looking at.
Okay.
Now, when you look at the comparison to its counterpart in Animal Kingdom, which I can't wait to experience that, that's 12 acres. So the only way to even remotely fit it in this area is either consider getting rid of PhilharMagic or get rid of the Hyperion building. And if they do one or the other, that will give our version of Avatar about 10 acres, which is the closest we are going to get to our counterpart in Animal Kingdom. So I agree with you, Udi. Trying to, squeeze a semi through a straw doesn't work. It just doesn't. It really honestly doesn't.
When was that event, by the way? I'm curious.
Sure.
When was that event that
George
went to?
So it was the weekend of February the 5th. I think the D23 event was on the 7th or the 8th.
Okay.
No, it was the 7th because the 8th was the actual birthday. So it was February the 7th.
Okay. So it could have easily have changed from then to now.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
I 100% agree with you.
And let me add the caveat why my mind has been working in this way is because Avatar did not the third movie didn't perform like they thought it would. And
No.
I mean, and I'll go back to it like Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that did you watch it? You watched the third one, I think, right?
I did. I just watched it last
It was
week.
enjoyable, right? I haven't seen it yet. But my whole point was like how many people are really into Avatar, and I keep on going back to that. So my mind, and I know it's a hot take, and I've admitted it so, but I don't think it's going to go there. I just don't think Bob Iger's going. That was one of his babies. He's going to be out the door here. I don't know how much influence he's still going to have, but I just can't see it going in there. So an Imagineer could be saying, absolutely, we're going to put it there because in that moment, that could have been the plan.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say they're lying, but what I can also say that things change. And there's not an iota of anything done in that area to be like, well, we can't go back now.
No, 100%. And before I keep going, Mark, what do you think about the Disneyland president? Exact same question I gave to Udi, telling media and influential bloggers like Tom Corliss from WDWNT, Dusty from Mice Chat, and so many others that were there at that event, saying that Avatar is not delayed. Monsters Inc. is closing now in 2027. And do you see them trying to shoehorn Avatar in this space?
Well, I think Josh covered his ass by saying it's not delayed because he never gave a date. So you can't, say we never had a promise date. So we have no idea what's been delayed or what's been done. A couple things though, or tells to me is, and let's go back about the rumor about Villains Land being reevaluated. And, and so once they started looking at that, and damn well that they looked at Epic Universe and said, oh, these guys are doing that. We need to rethink what we're doing. And that mentality, which I love, may have trickled to our parks as well, where they said, oh, we have an Avatar experience land, whatever you want to call it. We have this cooked up somewhere in WDI. We need to think about what we're doing. this is why they are going to delay Monsters Inc. because they don't know exactly what they're doing yet.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And that, and also this Eastern Gateway, which is really the main catalyst in getting room open, is going to take a couple years at least to get that thing operational. That buys them enough time to change their mind and go, well, okay, Monster, and so that's how I'm reading the tea leaves here, is that we're going to delay Monsters Inc. because we don't know exactly what we're doing. And to your point, Conductor, yes or no, they cannot have Monsters Inc. down at DCA. I mean, DCA cannot afford to have that size of an attraction down for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So my thought is, Josh Iamaro is going to be reevaluating what the scope is of Villains Land, and I think that's true. In addition to this,
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree with you. And if they move forward, let's say they do, they move forward on getting rid of Monsters Inc. and they do put Avatar in that space, I don't think by 2027, okay, 2027, we have heard, and again, just speculation and rumors, that the two Avengers attractions will be close, if not open, by that time. So what I think they're going to try to pivot to, they're going to try to keep Monsters open as long as they can, and then have the two Avengers attractions open, and then they'll close Monsters. That's what I think they're going to pivot to.
I think that's a fair assessment, and let's not forget that they're starting to move on Coco as well.
Yeah, exactly right.
Coco. So yes, I mean, you guys are spot on. I mean, you cannot have the Hollywood backlot just basically shuttered. You can't. I mean, it not only is it bad show, it devalues. I mean, they've been doing a lot of work to try to get DC up to an all-day park, and they're really, really trying. So you give them props to that. If they do that, that's a step in the wrong direction.
Right. Sure. And just again, to prove Conductor's point from earlier, he's paying $2,000 a year or close to it. I'd be pissed if DCA is like if they'd be shuttering Monsters Inc. as well, because you're not getting the value, right?
Yep.
No, okay. You're not. And the problem that I see right now, even how it sits today, even though we're looking at a picture of two future attractions for a land that desperately needed it when the land originally opened, was that, the prices for DCA are getting close to what Disneyland is. And it's like, how can you justify that when one park, which has been there since 1955, has twice as many, if not almost 3 times as many attractions and entertainment spaces than DCA does, but yet DCA wants to, they want to charge DCA tickets just as much as it would be going to Disneyland.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the reservation system, limiting people going in and out. That these all tie in together. And I will say, when I was at the park, the DCA was packed. They had a lot of people in there, and it was cool.
That's awesome.
It was good to see that many people in that park. It was really, I mean, it's a smaller park. There's a lot of people. I mean, to me, Disneyland proper was kind of like, we're floating. We didn't have many people other than the typical bottlenecks. Man, I never felt overly crowded in Disneyland proper. So, but that's exactly it. Like, you can't do that. You cannot eliminate these things, because I think what we're starting to see more and more is Disney corporate really realizing where they are, and on this tenuous little teeter totter about like value and fans and money and perception of what you're getting. I think they're really beginning to go like, hey man, like we need to start really looking at these kind of things. And I think these are all pieces of the puzzle that kind of bring that picture to light.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And then just to show what the Coco area is going to look like, I really, to kind of put my 2 cents on this, I kind of wish it wasn't shoehorned. Again, I love using that term, but I
Mhm.
wish it wasn't, hidden in the back corner behind the Incredicoaster and the Emotional Whirlwind. I kind of wish it would kind of bleed out into Paradise Gardens.
Yep.
I would be okay getting rid of that area and then extending Coco out, but
100%.
I know they won't do that, so that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Udi.
Well, no,
Uh,
I agree with you completely. Like when I was there, and then looking at some of the overheads of it, I share that sentiment that I wish there was more. But being said, I think for what they're wanting to do, it's going to be good back there. I mean, um, I'm I I'm excited that we're getting that. I really am. I just want to make sure that they add enough. And this is like you said, shoehorned in. It's a little different from Avatar to Coco as far as like the grandeur, I guess is the right way to put it, of what that franchise is to the other franchise. So Avatar, space travel, all the things, and then Coco is just a small town, and you're going into the afterlife. So
sure.
you don't need that kind of space. But what it is, it needs to be a good representation of it and of the culture and everything else like that. So I really feel like even though it's going to be in the tight spot, I really think
Yeah.
they're going to do well because I think they understand how important it will be for them because of not only the how many people love that. That's my one of my favorites. It's one of my closet favorites I'll watch on the reg, but also because of the culture and the fact that culturally there's a lot of Mexican people who are identified with the culture in that area. So they have to do it right. And Disney has always done what they can to make sure that they are representing whatever culture they're talking about to represent it properly and do it justice. So they're not doing it in any way, backhanding them in any way, shape, or form. So with that, I know it's going to be good, even though it is going to be probably not as big as I would personally like.
No, 100%. Mark, do you have any statements about Coco?
Nothing that really differs from Udi. Because I've been a long proponent of this. I think it's important we recognize this culture in DCA, and I hope that I know one of the topics you had about D23 predictions is I do think we're going to get some more information about Coco, and I expect there to be like a big village announcement where we have like a full on restaurant in there.
That'd
Um,
be awesome.
that would be so great to have that, and
Mhm.
I'm so stoked for what they're doing because during the Halloween season, I can't pronounce the name. Udi, we talked about this before. In the
Yeah,
last,
little much. Yeah.
yeah, that event is just going to be spectacular over there,
Mhm.
and it's going to be a great way to showcase that culture.
Mhm.
I don't know what the boat ride's going to be. Is it going to be a very mild thing? Or are we going to have an adventure? I don't know what that part is, but I'm here for it. Whatever. Yeah.
100%. We got Orange Go 55 in the house on location at DCA. Always
Oh, of
great to see
course.
showing some love. Always amazing person to talk to about parks with.
Yeah.
Uh, Kiki and Luca had a question or a statement. They said we are in the golden age is rides. So excited to get new rides, even if I wish they came sooner. And
Mhm.
I could not agree more. Just the amount of planning and all this stuff, it's crazy how long attractions take. And I would kind of hope with again tying back into open AI that Disney invested into with the fact that they've already proven that they can build um identical props from original props, meaning the Jungle Cruise from a 3D printer and make it look identical. I would honestly hope if we're seeing that type of technology now, it would help the process along further to cut down on shorter um uh build times for
Mhm.
new attractions.
Yep, I agree.
So that's something I would personally like to see.
Sure.
The next thing I want to talk about, and again, if I haven't said it already, big shout out to Scott Gustin Substack for posting this article.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Ride closures. So this was part of that media event that Thomas, I can't pronounce his last name, but Thomas, the Disneyland Resort president, stated that they are looking at ride closures and trying to implement ways to cut down on that. So instead of having, like, for example, one of my favorite rides is either Thunder Mountain or Indiana Jones. Instead of having it down for a month, we might see it down for 2 weeks. That is what they're trying to eliminate. The long, refurbished, calendar where you have a massive e-ticket attraction down for that long that causes stress to other attractions in the nearby area. Um, Mark, I'm going to start with you on this one. Do you want to see that going forward, not just as a magic key holder?
Mhm.
Um, Someone like me and Udi and Orange Go 55 and so many others that have such a deep passion for the Walt Disney Company and the
Yeah.
Disney parks in general, would you like to see stuff like this be implemented where they cut down on maintenance time and have more uptime than downtime on attractions?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I think I would absolutely be in favor of that. I don't know how they can do that, except, except maybe spend more time when the park's closed in the evening and invest in that kind of after hours work. And I think with technology getting better, you are just going to get a lot of, like, for example, Smuggler's Run is, I mean, that thing is never down. And they've got fail safes built into that. Like, if one of the tables is not working, they can rotate it out and get the other ones going. But these older attractions like Indy and Big Thunder don't necessarily lend themselves to that. But I think they're at the point now where they can invest in getting these things up and keeping them up as running as long as possible.
100%. Udi, I know you're excited to say something. I could just see it on your face.
Um,
What do you think about this?
I mean, the mere fact that they're actually looking at it and recognizing, and again, these are all the little pieces that I feel we need to start pointing at to the people who are still mad or frustrated, and even though
Sure.
we're part of them. But these are the things that we need to look at, right? The fact that they're going like, hey, we recognize that an attraction being 101 is bad. Like, and the shorter that an attraction will go 101, or the least likelihood of it happening, is only going to make the park experience better. Because what when an attraction and a big one, goes down, you think about how many thousands of people are queued up to that, and then that filters back into the park,
Yep.
and there's no way to mitigate that influx of people back into the park. So it just congests the whole thing. So the fact that they're looking at that is something that is long been overdue. It points to a refocus in doing what it needs to take, or what it takes to make sure that the park is running all cylinders. Because again, we know it, and I'm going to say it because it's the truth, that Disney is a theme park company, and
There.
that is their bread and butter. So that needs to be everything, needs to be running at top notch all the time, because then the people will come like they have in the past. So this is another step in the process of any of the people that have gotten disillusioned and disenchanted with Disney. These are the things that, like, hey, we get it, we're sorry, it took us a decade, or it took us, X amount of time, but we're correcting now. Reward.
100 No,
Yeah.
100%, Udi. And it looks like actually towards the end of 2025, they did try to implement some of this.
Mhm.
Like for this, for example, it says during the holiday season, engineers tested operational changes to the Disneyland Railroad that allowed it to run a 4 train carrying about 29,000 additional guests over a 10-day period
Mhm.
compared with the same stretch the year before. And then also they did by restructuring installation schedules and processes for the seasonal overlays at Haunted Mansion and It's a Small World. The resort added 9 additional operating days during the most recent holiday season.
Yep.
Officials said those additional days translated into nearly 200,000 more guest riding experiences combined across the 2 attractions. So it's a good thing to see that they are testing these things.
Yeah.
And I do commend not just Scott Gustin for writing the article, but for Disney coming out publicly and making these statements
Mhm.
and whatnot, because it intrigues a lot of us and say, okay, they're actually doing stuff. There's a fine line if they want to do stuff and not say anything, and then do stuff and do something like this where they're publicly making statements saying, hey, we tried this and it benefited. You know what I mean? So I rather personally they do it this way where they're giving us the data, they're telling us the numbers, and it's up to people to interpret that if they want to
Mhm.
believe it or not.
Mhm.
But the
Yeah.
results in the pudding. If
Mhm.
you're there during that time
Yeah.
and you see, operations kind of running smooth in areas that probably haven't run smooth in the past during that same peak season, then they're trying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I commend them
Yeah.
for that. And Udi, you make an excellent point. And Orange Grove 55 did the same talking point the other day when me and him did a video, was that when Disney does right, we all have to stand up and say, hey, we commend you for doing that. Do
Mhm.
more of this. Please,
Yeah. Yeah.
please do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something that I love seeing. The next thing I want to bring up, I don't know if it is in here or not. Well, it is in here. I think it's towards the top. Give me 1 second because I know I saw it. It was before that. Let me see. It wasn't right there. It was. I swore I saw it.
Mhm.
If not, okay. This right here. Okay. The park hopper restriction
Oh
is
yeah. Yeah.
going away later this year. So this restriction was in place right after COVID happened and the
Right.
park opened. Same thing with the reservation system. I think it was in that New York Times article, somewhere in that article, because it's a super long read,
Yeah.
um, or someone stated it, that Disney has been looking at these 2 options for a long time, way before 2020, and COVID kind of gave them the opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
So with them getting rid of the park hopper restriction, does this lead towards possibly them changing the reservation system and how they enforce it? Is this the beginning callous to the bigger picture? Udi, I'm going to start with you because I know you're excited. So,
Yeah. No. No. 100%. Sorry. I mean, because I'm getting excited because I'm
Ooh.
I'm seeing the changes happening. Right. So you can't look at these things and not go, okay, well, what is the next step from that? So the mere fact that they're getting, because we all know the reservation system. What does it do? What day you're going to go? Okay, what park are you beginning in? Okay, when you have a park hopper, what park are you beginning in? That goes away, right? So it's like, okay, so we're not going to have a park now. So how? So now they're just going to do an open reservation. I'm assuming, right? So now that little caveat, that little step is not going to be removed, right? You don't have to pick a park. Okay, so that's already going to mess with the algorithm. To me, this is the test bubble. Like, okay, we're going to get rid of that. Let's see how it affects flow. Let's see how it affects customer experience. Let's see how the parks react with everything. once this kind of settles in, which I think most people are going to be like, oh, hell yeah, because I know I am. I think this will letting people do what they want to do and letting them enjoy the park as they want to enjoy it, not as Disney's trying to direct you to, is really the better way to do, because this is them now going to get the feel of everything and go, hey, that whole reservation system, we probably don't need it anymore either. And that this is a step in that path. So yeah, I read that and went, oh, thank God, finally, because this is a step in that direction. And because I just don't see them holding on to the reservation system that much longer.
Yes, and I completely agree with you. Before I give my opinion on this, Mark, what do you think about this?
I think you're right. I think this is the first shoe to fall in the park hopping / reservation system. This whole 11 a.m. thing was just nonsense to begin with. It made no sense to me to begin with. There was no justifiable reason that made sense to me when they implemented this policy. But I'm trying to do like a work through now. So if they take away this 11 a.m. thing, and
Sure.
I go and book for something on April 10th, and I pick DCA, or let's say Disneyland is full, I can't go in. I can't, but then I can go like reserve DCA. What then what? And then I can just easily walk like 500 feet and go into Disneyland.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I missing something basic here?
So my opinion on this is I agree with both Mark and Udi on this. I agree that it never made sense to begin with, but since we were talking about earlier how you look at Disneyland by itself, it has almost 3 times the amount of attractions compared to DCA.
Mhm.
If they get rid of this park hopper restriction and Disneyland becomes so overfilled and no one's going to DCA because everyone wants to be at Disneyland,
Yeah.
how's that going to work? That's just going to, be a catalyst for failure.
Well, here is where another thing that kind of points again to it is, this is one of the reasons why they have been, again, all pieces, right?
Sure.
They've been working so hard to get DCA bigger and more, because in that way there's a balance, right?
Sure.
So if they, because your point is valid, right? Like, okay, so that the park hopper restriction's gone. What happens at Disneyland floods? And we know it's going to happen. We know
Sure.
no matter what, because you can't control that. But the point then is that's going to push them to really get DCA up and running, so that isn't such a common occurrence, right? Like there's going to be, so that people can go like us. We go like, hey man, the park feels full. Let's hop.
Yeah.
Hey, we've done what we want to do now. Because last time when I went in the park last time, we had dusk, so we hit all the big stuff quick. And I'm like, hey, it's 9:30, 10. We can't hop yet, so I guess we'll roam. And we could have easily hopped at that point. So this is what I'm saying. So letting the people just let the people do what they want to do, and just go with it, and it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. It worked out before. It's gonna work out again.
No,
No.
no, 100%. That's something that I personally want to see, and again, it's going to be a lot of trial and error.
Yep.
As soon as they take the blockade away, the flood's going to come straight through that, and there's going to be trial and error. I can almost guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
I could put a bet down, and I'd probably be right on it.
Yeah, go to Caltree. I bet you can find it.
Oh, I guarantee it. John stated, I think a lot of people will want to go to DCA once the construction is done. I agree with that.
Yes.
But I still think it will need 3 more large rides to truly complete with Disneyland's offerings. So, John, if you can further clarify, is that after Coco, after the 2 Avengers attractions, after at least one attraction of Avatar? I preferably want 2 e-ticket attractions, but that's me. So you're talking about after all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he said yes after that. So that makes
Okay.
me
After that,
yes.
That's
So
a big ask.
that is a big ask. It is, because when you look at the map here, the
yeah,
only other option they got is either the Simba parking lot, which is
Mhm.
right here, okay,
Yeah.
or the Toy Story parking lot. But the
Yeah.
problem is with the Toy Story parking lot, it's not an open parking lot. You got businesses, you got homes. So it's going to take a lot longer. So what's what's the easiest route to go? Obviously, it's going to be the Simba parking lot,
Mhm.
because you don't have to deal with residents in the parking lot area. It's
Correct.
just a parking lot. So I think we could see maybe Wakanda. We can see, who knows?
Avatar.
Well, I agree with you. I want Avatar to go in this area, but I know it won't because they're bullheaded and they won't do it. But that's just my opinion. Um, and then John also states that Disney has a lot of small rides for the kiddos, and that DCA just doesn't have. Well, DCA was, I kind of feel, even if we got Westcott, the original Westcott,
yeah,
which Michael Eisner kind of went away from because of funding, I don't think Westcott would have been much of a kid-friendly park either. It would have been more geared towards adults like DCA is
sure,
today.
yeah,
So I don't know. Obviously, Disneyland is always going to be, for everybody, but DCA is kind of like the adult kind of party,
A little bit.
hangout area.
A little bit. Yeah.
yeah,
And I kind of, kind of going back a little bit further in our live stream tonight, I think Udi, you were mentioning about Oogie Boogie Bash, or maybe it was Mark,
With Mark.
and I said, well, here's the thing, Oogie Boogie Bash, the reason why I don't buy a ticket, it's always the same thing,
yes,
Yeah.
and you have it in a park that's kind of geared towards more adult entertainment in a way, with alcohol, with attractions that are more geared towards adults. So I
Mhm.
said, well, if you're going to have an after dark event like HHN at Universal, or Knott's Scary Farm at Knott's Berry Farm, and so on and so on, why can't you make it a little more edgier?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Why does it have to be a kid-friendly event? Because it's Halloween. It's not Christmas. And I'm not shaming Christmas because I love Christmas, but
sure,
again,
I
Halloween is
point.
supposed to be spooky. It's supposed to be edgier. It's supposed to be kind of like, whoa, I'm walking around a corner. Whoa, I'm getting freaked out. That type of,
yeah,
amusement. And it's like, incorporating treat trails. It's like you can't do that stuff at Disneyland. Why does it have to be incorporated in an after dark event at
yeah,
DCA, where DCA again is more geared towards adults? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand either.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't honestly get it. And John mentioned, I think they could potentially put 2 rides or 2 or 3 stories above the maintenance roads that line the outside of the park, while leaving space open for cranes and heavy equipment. Possibly.
Yeah,
You're not wrong.
Mm.
Again, the sky's the limit for sure, but again, we could speculate all day long and all night long. Oh, they
sure,
could do this, they could do that. But that's why I kind of told OG the other night. I said, it's great in theory to say all this stuff. It gets people hyped. But until you put a shovel in the ground,
Mhm.
that is the type of mentality Disney has earned for themselves.
yeah,
Correct.
Again, I kind of think it really kind of diminished their uh I'm trying to think of the word, Udi or Mark, if you can.
Credibility.
Credibility, thank you. Their credibility when we had that D23 event in 2022 and they came out with the whole blue sky nonsense, that damaged their reputation beyond repair. So now the only way people believe Disney when they say, "Oh yeah, we're going to build Avatar, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this." Well, let's see the proof. You talking is cheap. Let's see a shovel on the ground. Let's see a building being ripped apart by an excavator. Let's see that. Then we'll believe you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's just the mentality of what people think of the Disney company. And it goes with Universal as well a little bit, but Disney's more accountable.
Correct.
So it's just like it's kind of hard to sit there and tell me when even if me and Udi were in that room at the media event, we'd probably look at each other and like, what do you mean you're gonna shoehorn her in the Hollywood backlog? You're crazy.
I would have been like, I mean, do we have a Q&A? Like, how are you anticipating to fit this and represent that? I would have been polite, but I would have been like, where's the hard question? I hope somebody asks a hard question, like, are you for real kind of thing? Nicely put, of course, but I'm like, because that's what they absolutely damaged that to a huge extent. So because I mean, we all cover, right? We all talk about, well, hey, look, they filed a permit for this. Hey, look, they filed a permit for that. Hey, they filed a patent for this. Hey, look at that new tech. And we begin to expound like, hey, this could be here, this could be there. And it does. It fuels the conversation for what it is. But the speculation is all it is, right? Because at the end of the day, until we get what they're doing right now in Avengers Campus, we're just talking.
Right.
So no matter what, like now with Coco, like, well, we're going to put over here. Okay, well, now they're moving. Now they're doing stuff. I'm like, okay, now I believe you. This is why I keep on going back to the whole Avatar thing. I don't believe you because you haven't done anything. And now with the delay of Monsters Inc., I'm like, all you're doing is you're giving me more things to believe my point of view than for me to believe your point of view. So
exactly. No, 100%.
They taught me that. It wasn't like I came in it because I want to believe them, but they've taught me to hold on and give them a little side eye and go like, "Are you for real?" They did that, not us.
No, 100%. So the last part of this article, which was the main topic, was reinvesting in service. And this one, I kind of have a strong opinion about.
Go for
because basically what they're stating in this article is that they want to increase the amount of cast members in the park. They want to kind of bring a how can I put it, a positive atmosphere back into the park. And I clearly stated multiple times, I said, the only way you can do that, literally the only way you could do that is you have to cave and you have to pay cast members a living wage. You cannot expect anybody in the customer service industry to sit there and have a workload so big per person and to have a smiling face in public when they're not even making a living wage. But then you can go across the street to McDonald's and someone that serves cheeseburgers and fries makes a living wage. So you can't, if Disney's not willing to compromise on this, or they're going to go back and forth with the labor union and all that other nonsense, then how can you expect cast members to show up at work every single day and have a smiling face and a positive attitude in the park? How in the hell do you expect to do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here's the kind of rub in the situation. I'm glad that that is what they're talking about. 100% needs to happen.
Yeah.
100% needs to happen because we all know it. Cast members are the lifeblood of that park.
They
That is
are.
gives and when I was at the park last time, I will tell you this, and I told Mark this, and I talk about it a little bit on our podcast. All of the cast members, every single one that we ran into and had any interaction with, amazing, amazing. There was one who looked like she was punching a time clock. Only one. And so I thought, hey, law of averages, that's pretty freaking good.
Sure.
So cast members are, but here's the rub with this, okay? And this is the hard reality of having this type of business in California. The cost of it, and this aids into the whole thing, the cost of having to pay the minimum wage is something that you cannot, diminish. That's a big thing, right? The minimum wage in California is a huge thing. So how do you manage that? So here's the thing is that I think they're going to do. And so being a cast member, and it may sound, I don't even know the word, but when you start in that company, I think it would be really important for a lot of people who start in that company to realize it's a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. If you're going there to work a full-time job, and this comes from me having many conversations with one of our other co-hosts who was a cast member. And she went there with the thought of like, I want to work here all the time, and this is going to be my full-time job. At that level, it's just like your burger flipper at McDonald's or your cashier. It is meant to be a part-time thing, and you need to augment your wages. So that's kind of like the horrible, like truthful side of that. But what I hope what they do is that with that, you get people in that company and they begin to reward the people and move people up in the company into positions where they can be a full-time job and get the money so they don't have to do that. So the average attraction operator, sweep, those kind of things, those are, I think they're going to look at it and go like, look guys, this is a part-time job. One of the first jobs I had outside of construction, was I was a busboy. That was a part-time job. I never was a thing of like, hey, this can be my only job. So that's where it is, because when you say you got to pay them a living wage, I agree with that, but there's also the harsh reality of it, just the economics of it, is that your average cast member who does that is not, that job isn't something that you can just live off of.
Yeah.
And Disney needs to take care of their employees. I'm not trying in any way, shape, or form diminish that, because they do. They need to absolutely pay them the most they can. They absolutely need to reward them with what they can. Pay them and give them raises, give them the opportunities to go up in the company, give them the medical, give them the insurance that they need.
And give them benefits.
Give them the benefits. Take care of them. Make that job where they want to move up in that company. So it's weird because it's kind of like retail, but it's not. It's so much deeper than that, and it's more important than that. But that's the harsh reality of economics. So I'm glad, because I think this is a sign that they're like, hey, we need to invest in people, not just in the park and not just in this, AI or this, but we need to invest into what really makes this park special is the people. So I'm happy to see this. I hope they continue to move forward with that and they begin to reward the people with it, because it's difficult to live, and especially in California.
Sure.
We know that, we all know that well. So I'm happy to hear this, and I just keep this up, Disney. This is the stuff you need to do.
Yep. Step in that direction for sure.
Yep.
100%. Mark, do you have anything you want to add to this?
Now, what I want to add to it is that it looks like there's going to be, not only in addition to they need to take care of these cast members with benefits and a better wage, but it looks like there's going to be some additional training in the service culture as well. And I think that goes a long way, because I think people that work there as cast members, I would think for the most part, they understand that this is a pretty big deal, and they are representing Walt Disney every time they go on stage. and
Yes.
they need to be reminded of that. I mean, for the most part, I think that they do. But the fact that the company is saying, no, we're going to invest in training and making sure that you folks are doing what we need you to do. And I think this is great. I think this is awesome.
No, 100%. I completely agree, and I agree with Udi as well. You know, if the company decided to literally pay every single cast member, part-time, full-time, whatever, seasonal, a living wage, which again, it sounds harsh when you say it out loud. The company would go broke because of California, politics. So I get it. I understand that.
I hate it. Yeah.
But when you say it out loud, it makes you look like the devil. Because you're basically saying, oh, do all these jobs, do all these responsibilities, but I'm going to pay you pennies on the dollar. It's like, now I sound horrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, 100%.
And that's why they need to make sure that they're paying them, paying them fairly, but the recognition of the job is always the thing. Is like I just say, living in my world, I know I get paid the rate that I demanded because I've earned that. And but I was also lucky enough to be put into a system where I was able to move up in that. So this was the same thing to me. Like, yeah, you're going to be at the bottom of the rung, but you work hard, you do what you need to do, you present yourself, you improve. Disney needs to go like, good, here, have a bump. We're going to now put you over here. So we're going to maybe give you more responsibility, but we're also going to compensate you for that. And then up the rung, because there is stories upon stories of people who have done that in Disney. So the more that Disney does that, the more people are going to have that, and more you're going to have people in that company who believe with everything in them in that company. So this is step in the right direction.
Yep.
No, 100%. And you're not wrong, because look at Josh tomorrow. He did that. Moved up through the ranks. He's been with the company 27 years, and now he's our next CEO. So, it is possible. It all comes down to can you put your mind to it? Can you elevate yourself to the next step instead of being stuck where you're at? I just want to read this comment, and then I'm going to go to a post that Orange Grove 55 sent me from Drew, the Disney dude, from Main Street Paul. Welcome in, by the way. He said, here is a challenge for you all. The challenge is to rope drop all Fantasyland rides within 2 hours or less, but only using standby, not single rider. You think that's possible? You think you do it? Mark, can you do it?
The key is make sure you plan accordingly to the attractions that fill up first. You hit those that are going to slow you down, and the lesser known ones, those are the ones you go to last. So it'll be tough.
You got to hit Pan first, and then
right away,
and then Matterhorn.
Walk quickly to Pan. Rather, don't run. Walk quickly.
That's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll be for that challenge. Yeah.
Oh, dude, Mark, when we go, I think we may have to engage.
Oh, we'll see.
There you go.
That's gonna break tradition, though.
Oh, that is tradition. No, that does break. We have our traditions. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair enough.
I do like that. That's pretty funny.
I do. I do like that. So this is from Drew, the Disney dude. Again, this was courtesy of obviously Drew, but Orange Grove sent me this during the live. It says Avengers Infinity Defense, the e-ticket attraction. Disneyland's next groundbreaking attraction. It's already being compared to Rise of the Resistance. My first article on how the upcoming Avengers Campus attraction will feature a never-before-seen ride system and more. Udi, okay, I'm going to start with you. Obviously, you haven't been to Epic Universe. Mark, you haven't either. I'm going to be going to Epic Universe in less than a week and a half for, again, my first time ever. And there was a lot of hype and stuff behind Epic Universe saying, "Oh yeah, it's gonna crush Disney World," and it was like a phenomenon that kind of just took off on social media.
Yeah.
When you know when a comment is made by this, and I'm not saying Drew made this comment, it's probably coming from someone inside Disney because Drew's smarter than that. I 100% believe. Do you think they're getting ahead of the program here by stating that? No.
No. And let me God, Mark, was it you that I don't remember who I had this conversation with.
It was probably me.
Probably Mark. When you look at Rise, okay, and you look at Rise of Resistance, and you realize that the mechanisms in there, right? All the tech that's in there, the bar has now been risen, okay? It's gone up. And if they're going to present an attraction to rival anything to get people excited, they need to meet that bar at the minimum, right? So
Sure.
my thought process was this one, with all the tech that is available, and looking at the patents and stuff for ride technology and for ride vehicles and all that kind of stuff, they're coming with it. They realize that they need to come with it. They need to come with the heat. And so when I hear that in my mind, that's why I threw my hands up, because I'm like, this is what I was talking about. That how can you not come with that when you're going to go into, and you're really, I mean, you think about the two attractions that are currently in Avengers Campus, right? You have Web Slingers, you have Guardians, right? Guardians is great, old ride system. Web Slingers is fun, 3D, the whole thing, right? Meant
Sure.
totally for the kids. So what do you need to do to draw people in there and make DCA more of an all-day park? It's going to be an attraction like that. It's got to be at that level. It's got to be something that's going to be like, holy crap, when we came off of Rise first ride, not only was I just blown away because of my connection and love for Star Wars, but the other level was recognizing the experience we just went through and all the tech involved in that, right?
Sure.
This needs to be at that same level, because again, this is the thing, is like Disney's beginning to realize what time it is. And the time is they need to bring the A game again. They need to get off their asses and put this up. So this is it. So to see this, oh no, they could be hyping it. Don't get me wrong. But this makes sense to me. In every way, shape, or form, this makes sense to me that this is what they're going to do. They're going to be like, look at what we've got. Hey, I know all that cool stuff in Epic and da-da-da, but hey, we still have it too. Boom, look at that.
Yep.
100%.
They need to do that. 100%. So yeah, I believe it. I believe it. And again, looking at the size of the show buildings, understanding that is something that it just made me, it started my mind thinking this direction. Oh, this one's going to be big, and they're going to throw the stuff. They're going to throw everything they can in there because they've already had years of Ride of the Resistance work and tuning and developing. And look at all the cool stuff that they put in there. What have they developed since then?
Yeah.
Yep.
They really haven't, at least out here in the domestic parks. When you look internationally, because now I don't know when they reacquired Disneyland Paris, but they did build the World of Frozen. They're supposed to be opening that section of Disneyland Paris next month.
Yeah.
So there is new ride technology they have done since Rise of the Resistance, but since for the domestic parks, I agree with Udi. They haven't really done too much, if hardly at all, since Rise.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Cannon Camper in the house. Always great to see Cannon. So one thing I want to show, and I forgot, let me pull up Google Maps before we go to the last little bit we have for tonight, because we talked about it earlier about, is this area going to only have the two attractions and that's it? Or is it going to have maybe a quick service location, maybe another? Well, it wouldn't be a gift shop. It would either be a quick service or maybe a sit down restaurant. So if we obviously Google Maps takes forever to freaking update their satellite photos, but right in this area right here, so where the parking lot is where those two massive show buildings are at.
Yeah.
And as we look at it right now, where this wall is at is where we're going to enter
Yeah.
into the two attractions. So they
Yep.
got rid of this building right here, which used to be the trolley barn. So they got rid of that. So if you honestly look at it, getting rid of this, they could put some type of a restaurant or quick service location in this area, literally directly behind Guardians. It is possible.
Sure.
Because look how big it is.
It's massive.
Yeah. The two attractions, they bleed out a little bit in this area, but there's still room to build a path and build something right in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm telling you, a restaurant like Pim Test's Kitchen, oh, dude.
Yeah.
Moneymaker. Because like you said, Pim Test Kitchen is always busy.
Mm-hmm.
They're packed.
They're packed.
So it's more than possible. It's not impossible.
No.
One thing I will tell you though is, since currently right now in Udi, Mark, you probably both saw it. We can't use this pathway right now.
Right.
They're building some type of a restaurant or restroom.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Since they're doing that. But one thing I will tell you is once this pathway reopens, I personally want to see the Doctor Strange show come back because there's no reason for that area that's heavily themed that character sit vacant and do nothing.
Agreed.
There's no reason for that.
Agreed.
So I just wanted to point that out. And then the last thing I want to talk about, and Mark, this is actually a question directed at you because Udi, I think we talked. You haven't been to Walt Disney World, right? Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so everybody watching, I am literally 10 days from going to Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando for about 16 to 18 days. That's where I'm going to be at. So I want to ask you, Mark.
Yeah.
What is one attraction at Walt Disney World or one experience at Walt Disney World can be from any of the parks? What is one thing I definitely need to check out and probably cover if I can?
Only one thing?
Well, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll give you the top 5. How about that? Top 5.
Sure. Okay. So, but I wanted to say one thing about when you had Bricky on. He's talking about going to the Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
You will get frustrated. I guarantee it when you get there because you will drive through the gate. You'll get in line for the gate to get your ticket to park the car. You'll like meander around. You'll find a parking spot, and then you see a line to get on the trams. You got to wait in line to get on the trams, and the trams take you to the TTC, the Ticket and Transportation Center, where you got to wait in yet another line. So this is 3 lines to get to the actual Magic Kingdom.
Oh, Jesus.
But no, seriously, it's about a 25 to 30-minute process. And when I was there, I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. I'm so hot. You get on, take the ferry boat the first time. And once you disembark from that pier and go around the island and you see the Magic Kingdom out there, all of that nonsense about getting there is going to vanish. You're going to go, oh, this is what they're talking about. Look at this place. Holy cow. It is awesome. Okay. So, and then at night, make sure you turn around and watch that at night because it is breathtaking. You're going to go, oh my gosh. Magic Kingdom. So yes. 7 Dwarfs Mine Train. Do not miss it. Go on, repeat. You are going to just walk around and the roller coaster itself is not great. It's about 5 notches above Gadget's Go Coaster and maybe 2 notches below Big Thunder. So it's not all that exciting, but it is so well themed. and you think I wish we had this at our park. Do not miss the Jungle Cruise there in Adventureland. It is so much better than ours. So much better. You're yes. I was audibly gasping when I was on there. I said, "What the hell is this?" And people were laughing, and I go, people on the boat, I'm like, you guys don't understand. We're from California. We don't have this at our park. What in the world? So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but once you see it, you're going to go, oh my gosh, Mark's right. Okay. Gosh, that's 2. Oh, of course, Tron. You got to do Tron. There's 3. Shit, I'm only at 3.
All right, you can keep going past 5.
Okay. Going. Animal Kingdom, do the safari, the Kilimanjaro.
We
safari.
are doing the safari.
100% game changing. That's gonna blow your mind.
So it's interesting. Before you keep going, Georgia actually has this set up, or he's gonna try to set it up, where we are actually gonna rope drop the safari. But go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So that be sure to do that. Be sure to go check out Flight of the Passage, I guess, at Avatar. We picked the other one. We picked the Navi River Journey. Yeah. Dude, don't waste your time on that. Do not waste your time on that. It's not worth it. It's going to be like an hour and a half wait. It's not even worth 5 minutes, dude. I'm not even joking. It's like, what in the world? I cannot get this time back in my life. But the other thing, the Flight of Passage, we didn't even go on that because I think the park closed at like 6 when we were there, so we didn't get a chance to go on that. Okay. Hollywood Studios, I don't think you're gonna like. It's just because it is a CF of you don't know where anything is. Bricky was right. You walk in there, you don't know what is going on. You have no idea to turn left, turn right. Skip Galaxy's Edge. It is the same thing.
I plan on it.
In fact, it's actually worse than ours. Even though just because of the transition. And I think I texted Udi when I was there saying, dude, this is ridiculous.
You did.
World Showcase at Epcot. Epcot is going to change your mind. It is going to go, this is what a theme park should be. The World Showcase, take your time, go to every country, look at what they're presenting, and look at how beautiful the park is. It's going to go, oh, this is, holy cow. If you're going to go twice any park, I would do twice at Epcot. It is just that magnificent. And I wish we went there twice. I was just blown away with that. So you cannot miss that. And even their, what I was going to say. Yeah, just Epcot is going to absolutely just blow your mind. And then Disney Springs. When you go to Disney Springs, park in the line. They've got four lots, and they're all based on fruit. Lime, Lime, is the actual best lot to go in because it's right in the heart of it. I think George would know this anyways. But you're gonna walk around and your mind is gonna be blown. Like, what the hell is this place? Why did it?
100%, Mark. I just want to read this real quick.
Okay.
This is from Jacob. He said, can we get some prayers for the East Coast big winter storm? Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody on the East Coast or the Mid-East, if you're dealing with the horrible weather conditions out there, my prayers do go out to you that you stay safe and you stay warm and just do everything you can to protect yourself, because I've seen it. I have a brother that just recently moved to Tennessee, and he's dealing with this as well. And I'm in constant contact with him to make sure he's safe and okay. So my heart and prayers do go out to my East Coast correspondents, friends, and family out there. Please stay safe. And then we also got a theme park and things. So always great to see them in the chat. But Mark, keep going. What else?
So Disney Springs, you are going to be overwhelmed with that place because there's so much to do. There's anything you're into, anything you want to eat, any sort of entertainment. if you're just there for vibes, it's going to meet every requirement for you, and it's going to blow you away. So I think those are and then I think you guys are taking a day just to look around.
So we are. So we're at least doing one day of Disney Springs that I know of, maybe more.
Yeah, you do more.
And then we're gonna also explore Universal Orlando City Walk. We're gonna do that.
Okay.
And then just recently George got with me because right when we arrive, they are kicking off the Flower and Garden Festival.
Oh,
So he said he's done it before. He wants to. He definitely wants me and Tommy from Tommy Toon World to do it.
yeah.
So we just talked about it, and we are planning to do what you suggested, Mark, and do a second Epcot day, where the second day will literally be focused heavily on the festival.
Oh.
So we're gonna kind of do back and forth. The first day is going to be exploring all the pavilions, checking out some of the attractions, doing that. And then the second time we do Epcot will be heavily focused on the Flower and Garden Festival, but also enjoying the pavilions as well.
Yeah, dude, I'm so stoked for you. It's every pavilion in the World Showcase there is so well done, and Canada, England, check out Ratatouille. That is a whole ride thing that's going to blow you away. Check out Frozen. Frozen Ever After or something.
Yeah,
that is going to blow you away. It's not some kids thing. It is something else. It's a log flume, by the way. So I don't know, but I'm sure you knew that. Yeah, so twice there. The Magic Kingdom, I would say those are like the 3 or 4 attractions at the Magic Kingdom that you got to see. Yeah, I wish Hollywood Studios was more of a thing. It's just it's not. It's a worse version of DCA.
Yeah. So one thing I will tell you, Mark, is on the Magic Kingdom, if they do have it open when we are down there, I will tell you, me and George and Tommy have talked about it. We do want to ride Thunder Mountain because of the new elements they added to that attraction. And in fact, they just replaced all the track as well. So we definitely want to check that out. When it comes to the Hollywood Studios, since we're going to stay there all day, George was actually suggesting we check out Fantasmic because the difference is we are kind of like in a stadium outdoor amphitheater compared to what we have out here at Disneyland, where it's still kind of an amphitheater, but it's based off an island, and they incorporate the Columbia and the Mark Twain in the show. So he definitely wants us to check that out. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, the Indiana Jones show as well. He wants us to check out.
That, for sure. And I almost forgot to say, they actually have a Tower of Terror there.
Yes.
And it is different than ours. It is different.
I heard that.
So just keep that in mind, and it's better if you can believe it. Yeah. Because it does things that ours doesn't do. So so that, but it's just that park didn't resonate well with us because we got it. It was so hot in the morning and the day, and then it rained horribly in the afternoon and the evening. We were just like, oh, okay, we don't know where we are.
Oh my gosh. One thing I will add to the Frozen Ever After attraction. We are very encouraged to ride that because they just got done replacing the faces on the characters with actual animatronic faces that actually look lifelike and not a projected screen. So we definitely are going to check that out 100%.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah. Oh, and Test Track. You got to do Test Track.
Yes. I almost forgot that one.
That thing hauls ass. It's like, it's fast.
I heard it's actually faster than Radiator Springs.
Yes, it is 100%. Yeah. Just, but dude, just you can have so much fun. Take your time. I mean, if you can go live, let us know because I'd love to talk to you when you're there and whatnot.
Oh, I would, if I can, I am going to try to do a couple lives
Okay.
in the park. I'm going to try to do it on YouTube. If not, people have been asking me to do it on TikTok as well. So,
Autumn.
so either one, but I'm going to try to do multiple lives. My plan is to film a POV reaction video per park, and then do a 1 hour Q&A session, literally an hour, not past an hour, 1 hour Q&A session to kind of talk about my experience of that park for that day, not giving too much detail away, but enough where it gives people excited, and
Okay.
then encourage people to check out my video that will literally drop the next morning. So
That's a good
that's
plan.
something that I'm going to implement as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm
Yes.
not going to lie. George has a wonderful lineup of uh dining locations we're going to check out, like Steakhouse 71. We got the Boathouse. We got I can go on. There's like 20 different locations that we're going to check out. One thing I will tell you both, and Mark, you probably can relate to this more. One thing I do commend George on is doing the dining plan.
Oh,
The
yeah.
dining plan is the best option if you're planning a Walt Disney World vacation, because literally we're going to have 13 snacks, 13 quick service locations, and 13 sit down restaurants.
Jeez.
And Udi, to kind of help you understand. So if I go to a sit down location like the Boathouse, and let's say they have a $60 ribeye sandwich, let's just say hypothetically they did, that's covered under a dining plan.
Wow.
So almost the entire menu is covered by the dining plan, whether it's one voucher or two vouchers, it is covered as far as I know. So that's something I encourage everyone to do, is get the dining plan, because it will save you in the long run.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but gentlemen, I know I said we were going to go about an hour, but you know as well as I do, when we start talking about theme parks, it goes way over that.
Yeah.
We get caught up in our own obsesses. So
Yeah.
what can I say? But Mark, I'm going to start with you, sir. Thank you so very much for staying up with me and Udi for doing this Conductor Sunday live stream.
Anytime.
I'm so glad to have you guys on, because next Sunday will be my last one before I head out there. So I'm glad that we were able to talk about this breaking news. But where can everyone find you on social media?
Udi, go ahead.
But hey, I just want to say, always a pleasure to be on here. Thank you for the invite. It's a great time to talk to you. It's just good. I love the energy, because we just go. Yeah, and I made the comment like, hey, and this will give you guys a little backstage. We're like, hey, how long are we gonna go? And you said like an hour and a half. I went, okay, so you said 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
What are we at right now? Anyway,
Close enough.
Pretty darn close. But anyway, but you can find me on my Instagram, which is HAXGOALIE, and you can also find me on my other podcast. It's called The Mando Show, which is a Star Wars thing, and we haven't had much to talk about as of late, so we're actually gearing that back up. So we cover Star Wars over there, and so you can find me on there as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I want to echo what Udi said, Conductor. Thanks again for having us on. It means a lot to be able to connect with you. I think if we meet, when we meet in person, the three of us and maybe the four of us are going to have just a great time talking. And it's just, I consider you a friend. And every time we meet someone in this network, I'm just blown away by how cool they are. So this is awesome for having us. Anytime you guys break out maps, I'm down for it. So you can find me at leavingtodaypodcast.com and Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast. And we are a show that comes out every other Monday. Episode 239 comes out tomorrow. And then we've got every Wednesday night from 6 to 7, anytime we do the LTP Lounge, where Udi and I talk to whomever. Sometimes Conductor's on, OG's been on, and we have other people on. We just go deep dive for like an hour every Wednesday night from 6 to 7 on LTP. Leave Their podcast. Yeah.
No, 100%. And no, John was asking if we're in Florida. Well, I'm not in Florida. I'm in California. Good old California.
Yeah, Northern California here for us.
Yeah, there you go. California legends right here. All three of us.
Yes, yes.
But no, so like I said, 10 days. That's what I got left. I am mind blown that I'm this close. And one thing I'm sure everyone's going to see on March 3rd, I will be at Disneyland for an after dark event, which is one of 2 days for the Disneyland 70th, where we're going to have extremely rare characters, foods, all the whole shebang, and I cannot wait to cover it. And then literally that event starts, I want to say at 7 or 9, ends at 1 a.m. in the morning, and literally at 11 o'clock I take off from California and I land in Orlando at Walt Disney World at 8 p.m. So I am pulling the Adam the Woo situation here, where I'm going to be on the West Coast and East Coast of Disney property in the same day. I'm pulling it off.
Dude, that's so awesome. That's
very cool. Very cool.
So, but again, I want to thank you both gentlemen for being on. I want to thank our great moderator tonight, Kiki and Luca, and everybody in the chat, Theme Park and Things, Jacob, John, especially, who really asked some great questions. We had Main Street Paul. We had Orange Go 55 pop his head in there. I love it. And then we had David, Brandon, the Lego Disney fan, Billy Rides CA, and I think that might be it. And I also want to give a big shout out to Kiki and Luca for being a member for 2 months of Theme Park Conductor, and also gifting a membership to, it looks like, David. So David, I hope you enjoy. A lot more content is coming. And I want to just reiterate, please be safe wherever you might be. Stay warm or stay cool where you might be. And definitely keep your eyes open, because the weather, just everyday life, you never know what you're going to get from day to day. And John makes a great point, because Udi's wearing the jersey. Shout out to USA Hockey Men's for winning that gold.
And women's.
And women's as well. The double standard, I love it.
That's
both
awesome.
teams beating Canada, I could not be more happy. God, that was tense. It was so tense. But everybody have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys next Sunday for my last Conductor Sunday live stream before the East Coast trip. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye. Good night.
See ya.
Bye.